Blue Origin just unveiled a shocking plan. The Blue Moon Mark 1.5, a mystery lunar lander meant to replace SpaceX's Starship and reach the moon faster. NASA's renewed Artemis 3 race and China's looming lunar ambitions have pushed Bezos's team into overdrive. But is this a smart shortcut or a risky reaction to SpaceX's dominance? Could Blue Origin really outpace Starship this time? Let's dive right in. The new lunar race isn't just about landing first. It's about who defines the future of space itself. And in that race, the tension between SpaceX and Blue Origin has never been sharper. After years of silence, Jeff Bezos's company suddenly broke cover, revealing a mysterious new vehicle called the Blue Moon Mark 1.5, a lander that, according to Blue Origin, could replace SpaceX's Starship HLS for NASA's Artemis 3 mission and reach the moon faster. That announcement didn't just surprise the public, it rattled the entire industry. Because until now, SpaceX was the clear frontrunner, handpicked by NASA to take humans back to the lunar surface for the first time in over 50 years. So why the sudden shift? Why reopen a race that seemed already decided? Inside NASA, pressure has been mounting. The agency knows that every delay pushes the U.S. closer to losing the symbolic lead in space to China. With Chang'e 8 preparing for its own crewed landing, America can't afford another missed deadline. That's why earlier this year, acting NASA Administrator Sean Duffy quietly reopened competition for the lunar contract, giving Blue Origin a second chance. Bezos seized it, and the result is the Mark 1.5, a lander that, on paper, bridges the gap between Blue Origin's uncrewed cargo version and the full crewed model planned for later missions. But if you listen carefully to the way the company presented it, you'll hear something telling. This isn't about innovation, it's about urgency. The Mark 1.5 isn't a revolutionary design. It's a modification, the same basic platform, reworked with new life support systems, reinforced structure, and a small crew module. Blue Origin says this will accelerate readiness, but others see it differently, as a stopgap measure to stay relevant in a race already being dominated by SpaceX. And the truth is, time may not be on their side. While Blue Origin has been sketching blueprints and running simulations, SpaceX has been testing hardware, real flying hardware. Starship has already gone through 11 test flights, each one violent, spectacular, and educational. Every explosion taught a lesson. Every failure built data. Today, Starship stands as the most flight-proven development platform in aerospace history. That's why, when NASA asked for a status update, Gwynne Shotwell confidently stated, "We're aligned with Artemis 3. She wasn't guessing, she was reporting progress. SpaceX has already completed 49 milestones under NASA's HLS roadmap. That includes cryogenic refueling systems, new avionics, autonomous docking with Orion, and even partial integration of life support systems, all verified. Meanwhile, Blue Origin's Mark 1.5 remains largely theoretical. There's no prototype, no static test, no integration with Orion yet. Engineers are still modeling how to fit a full life support system inside a shell originally meant for cargo. It's like trying to retrofit a delivery van into a passenger jet. Possible, but far from optimal. The problem goes deeper than technology. It's about philosophy. SpaceX thrives on iteration, test, fail, fix, repeat. Blue Origin, in contrast, has been defined by caution. The company's motto, gradatim ferociter, step by step, ferociously, sounds noble, but in practice, the steps have been painfully slow, and that slowness could cost them everything. NASA's timeline is brutally clear. If Blue Origin wants to be a serious contender for Artemis 3, a working prototype must exist by mid-2026. That means full-scale manufacturing, integration with Orion, ground testing, vibration analysis, and at least one uncrewed lunar demo. Accomplishing that in 24 months is ambitious, to say the least. But there's another layer to this story: politics. Behind the technical debate lies a quieter struggle for influence. Some in Congress have long criticized NASA for relying too heavily on Elon Musk's company. Reopening the competition wasn't just about engineering. It was about optics, showing the world that NASA supports more than one billionaire. So even if Blue Origin's lander isn't ready, politically, it's valuable. It gives NASA leverage. Still, there's a hard truth that can't be avoided. The Mark 1.5 may reach the moon sooner on paper, but it won't stay there. It's designed for short-term missions. A quick touchdown, a flag, a photo, and a return. Starship, on the other hand, was built for permanence. It's meant to land, refuel, and build a lunar base. While Blue Origin offers a moment of glory, SpaceX offers a future. And that's what truly separates them. In terms of scale, Starship can carry up to 100 metric tons. Habitats, vehicles, even power systems. The Mark 1.5? Maybe 2 astronauts and a few tools. It's the difference between visiting the moon and colonizing it. Even within NASA, that contrast has become impossible to ignore. Engineers quietly refer to Blue Origin's new plan as a proof of presence, a way to show progress without real capability. But others argue that diversity is valuable, that 2 systems are safer than one. And that debate, innovation versus reliability, is exactly what defines this new phase of the space race. Ironically, as Blue Origin promotes its safer lander, SpaceX is the one proving reliability. Every new Starship test flight brings them closer to full reusability, the holy grail of lunar economics. That's why when people ask if Starship's failures mean trouble, Musk simply replies, "That's the point of testing." It's a mindset Blue Origin hasn't fully embraced yet, and that's why Starship's advantage keeps growing. Still, we shouldn't dismiss Blue Origin entirely. There's genuine engineering talent inside the company, and the Mark 1.5, despite its rushed origins, does solve one short-term problem: NASA's need for backup. If SpaceX encounters a major setback, Blue Origin could step in to ensure the U.S. doesn't miss its next moon deadline. That's the logic behind the move. Not to beat SpaceX, but to keep America's options open. But here's the twist no one wants to admit. Blue Origin's biggest threat might not be SpaceX at all, it's time. If they fail to deliver quickly enough, NASA might pivot fully to Starship. Not just for Artemis 3, but for everything: cargo delivery, crew transport, lunar habitats, even Mars logistics. In that world, Blue Origin becomes a side note in history. And yet there's one unpredictable factor that could flip the board. Jared Isaacman. Rumors suggest he might be next in line for NASA administrator. If that happens, it's game over. Isaacman is a SpaceX loyalist. His entire career, from Polaris Dawn to Inspiration 4, is built on partnership with Musk's team. Under his leadership, NASA would likely fast-track Starship and remove bureaucratic roadblocks entirely. That's the nightmare scenario for Bezos. And it explains why Blue Origin suddenly accelerated everything. Because this isn't just about winning a contract, it's about survival. Blue Origin can't afford another decade of almost. Not after New Glenn delays, not after years of falling behind on BE-4 engine deliveries. The Mark 1.5 is more than a lander. It's a statement: we're still here. We can still compete. But as SpaceX continues to weld, launch, and iterate at a speed that defies government pace, that claim grows harder to defend. In truth, this rivalry has evolved beyond technology. It's become a mirror of 2 ideologies. One believes in perfect planning, the other believes in perfecting through failure. And right now, failure seems to be winning. As Starship, in the end, Blue Origin's Mark 1.5 stands as both a bold move and a risky gamble. On paper, it's a clever shortcut, a bridge designed to get astronauts on the moon faster, leveraging existing hardware to cut years off development. But in reality, it's a race against time. The company must build, test, and prove a human-rated lunar lander before 2027, while SpaceX is already completing milestones that put it far ahead. The truth is, innovation under pressure can either create history or expose weakness. As NASA reconsiders how to meet its deadlines before China's own lunar landing, the question is no longer just about who can reach the moon first, but who can stay there. SpaceX's Starship, despite its complexity, represents a long-term vision, a vehicle built not for one mission, but for an entire era of lunar and Martian exploration. Blue Origin's Mark 1.5, meanwhile, may succeed as a symbolic comeback. But unless it delivers flawless performance, it risks being remembered as a temporary fix in a permanent race. So who truly holds the future of America's return to the moon? The fast-moving innovator or the cautious builder? Tell us what you think. Drop your thoughts in the comments, give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe to Space Update 24 Hours for more updates on the next chapter of the space race, where every decision brings humanity one step closer to the stars.